Alright, today I'm going to be sharpening up a knife in 4V. This is from Alex Steingraber, if I'm pronouncing his name right, I think. This is the SPK Shark. This belongs to a buddy of mine, John Barber, over on Reddit, and he's also on Instagram. He originally sent it to Jeff Jewell to try out, and he asked me if I wanted to try it out. I was like, sure, I'd love to. So he asked Jeff to send this to me, which he did, in the Green Brick of Joy. So I'm going to try those out. And Jeff was nice enough to ship them to me on his own dime, so I appreciate that. I'm going to start out with a DMT 325 course. When I got this, I initially sharpened it up to 600 grit DMT, hit it on a Spyderco fine just to kind of deburr it. And it's taken me some time to get the edge where it's fairly dull. It's dull, but it's so thinly ground that it still cuts really well. So I mean, I can take cardboard and stuff and just zip right through it. It's kind of like a utility knife, a razor blade. Even when it gets dull, it still cuts. So yeah, I don't know how exactly the thickness behind the edge on this, but it's very thin. So I'm guessing somewhere probably around 8 or 9 thou or something. So. Just to kind of give you an idea, I don't think it's really, yeah, it's not even cutting paper. If you punch through it, then it cuts, but outside of that, it doesn't really want to cut it too well. So, I really wanted to sharpen this at like 9-10 degrees, really drop it down, but it's not my knife, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm guessing like MagnaCut, I got that around, a chef knife's around 9 degrees or so, and man, that thing just, I can't believe how well it holds an edge at that acute angle. I was thinking about sharpening this on Gritomatic stones, but I've had the knife way too long, so this is probably going to be my last sharpening. So. Because this thing is so thinly ground, it sharpens extremely quick. I mean, I've got a fine burr worked up already. First time I sharpened this, again, it sharpened really quickly, and it just deburred effortlessly, which is really indicative of a good heat treat. It's as good as any 4V knife I've had. I've never had a knife from this maker, but I've had a number of knives in 4V, and this is as good as any of them. So. I'm going to try and drop the angle down just a little bit, maybe a degree or two. You know, it's funny, this diamond plate, I actually bought this off of eBay a while back, and I got it for, it was a little over $11, and with tax it was just over $12 shipped. And it looked like it was in good shape, but I kind of rolled the dice. You know, I figured I was going to get something that's just demolished, just totally stripped, and I was surprised when I got it, because this is one of the old DMTs that comes in the green packaging, and you know, 15-20-year-old, you just really don't find them in good shape anymore. And when I got it, it was probably like 95+% condition, probably more like 98%. Really good, totally dead flat, not missing diamond anywhere. And what boggles my mind is the seller, you know, they shipped it to me priority mail, which was like $9, and then the fees. So I don't know how they made any money selling it, but kind of baffled on that. But it's a really good stone. One of the better deals I've found in a while off of eBay. But I'm just trying to work up a very fine burr. Make it as easy to deburr as possible. I believe I've got one there. Now I'm going to go to a DMT fine, which is 600 grit or mesh. If I can find it. Not really picking it up, but it's a 600 fine. So. You can see that's got a burr on it. You can see how clean it cuts. I mean, nuts. Most knives off a 325 with no deburring is not going to cut paper towel that clean. This DMT is nice and broken in. I've probably had this probably 7-8 years. So it's well broken in. Very fine burr. Kind of sharpening at an awkward angle here, so it's for the camera, but a little difficult. But try and make it work. You can hear my fingernail. Very, very fine burr. So now I'm going to take some kind of reduction passes, try and minimize the burr, weaken, fatigue it. Just using absolute lightest pressure. I can hear burr coming off, so I want to try and remove that. Can drag it through my nail. I'm not using any force, so very sharp already. So I'm going to take some single alternating passes. Start off pretty light pressure and then just go as light as I really can. Kind of evaluate the edge, see where it's at. Normally on good steel like this, you don't need to worry about hitting it on a ceramic or even stropping that much. I mean, the edge comes off right off the stone, very clean. As long as you do your part. Hands are a bit jittery this morning. I had about 5 cups of coffee, so normally a little steadier. Let's see where it's at. Let me see, that's DMT Fine 600 grit. Zipping through that pretty cleanly. Very sharp. Cutting arm here without a whole lot of problems. So I'm going to lighten the pressure up even more. Just try and refine it just a little bit more. Even on a well broken in plate like this, using very light pressure is key. Because it's still pretty aggressive. Ouch. Bevel looks nice and even. Oh man, yeah, it definitely improved it even more. It's even cleaner.